And I just got done with chores. We got a really, really good rain yesterday. Rain for several hours, just that nice, gentle, consistent rain. We needed it so bad. Although it did bring in a cool front, so I'm wearing a sweater today. It's supposed to get up in the 70s today, which would be really good. Better than the high 80s and drought we were in the last few weeks. But I'm walking over to see what I call the big garden. It's not really that big, but it's the biggest garden we have. I have not been over here in a couple of weeks, at least a week and a half. Oh, look. They put up fencing, keep the rabbits out, and we've got black-eyed peas and green beans planted in here. Looks like we had a pretty good germination rate. Things are looking good. So far, so good. No more rabbit destruction. It's probably the first day in a month we aren't gonna have to turn the sprinklers on. Tomatoes are doing really good. This is the one I started from seed that I had harvested, seed saved last year. I have absolutely no idea if it's going to do anything. It was the only one that survived, other than the ones that are in my tall vertical garden. And the rest of these we had to buy from a greenhouse. But they're all doing really good. Got green peppers. Green peppers like heat, but they also like water, so. And we've got our zucchini. It's got a nice blossom. They're growing. Everything is not growing as fast as they have in the past. And here's our cucumbers. This one looks like it's getting some kind of bug damage or something's eating it. Oh, great. This was one that my sister started from seed. So's that one. She direct sowed them into the ground. I might have to come out here and put some more eggshells around because I don't know if that is bug damage or a deer. Looks like it might have been a deer. Those are deer tracks right there. Well, they better stay out. And then this is a winter squash, like a butternut, I think. And then I'm not sure what's that over there. She's got it partitioned off with the fence. I think that might be rhubarb. When I say she, I'm talking about my sister. My sister and I kind of do this together as a group project. And I planted a whole row of nasturtiums here, and it looks as though only one has survived it. When we were trying to plant at the normal time, beginning of May, it was so hot and so dry that the plants were really stunted. Well, maybe the rest of the summer will be warm or cooler, and oh, we got one more nasturtium there that survived. Yeah, I did a whole row from there all the way to there. And the first one and the last one's the only ones that survived. But anyway, I mean, we don't want it cool, but we don't want it in the 90s and drought. That's what's really bad. But, well, stuff's growing. We should get something out of it this year. We basically got nothing last year, except tomatoes. We had really good tomato crop. And looks like we might have another good tomato crop. We didn't plant nearly as many tomatoes this year because we didn't need that many. I didn't want to preserve. I canned enough last year. So, all right, there's a little garden update. This is our asparagus bed, and as you can see, it's done for the year. When they get all tall and feathery like this, you want them to do that because then it puts nutrients back to the roots, and then that way it'll come back next year. It is now 11:30, and this is my lunch. This is the first I've had to eat today, aside from my cup of tea this morning. And in my tea, I sweeten it with stevia, and then I put a splash of Ripple, half and half, dairy-free half and half. So I think I've technically stayed fasted because there's a couple of different trains of thought on this. Some people say as long as there's no carbs that will spike your insulin, you're still in fasting mode, and also if it's 50 calories or less. So my tea fits both of those. There are other people that say anything other than water will break your fast. I tried that type of fasting and it just was not my cup of tea, so no pun intended. Anyways, this is my lunch. This is some leftovers. We had Trim Mac salad. It's out of the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook. It's like a Big Mac salad, which are very popular apparently. I've heard on several different channels people talking about them. It's basically all of the components of a Big Mac without the bun and in a salad form. So of course I use turkey, ground turkey. I tweaked mine up a little bit. I tried it with dill pickles. I don't really like dill pickles, but I put some of those sweet banana peppers on there, just a few. Instead of croutons, I put just a handful of these chow mein noodles for some crunch, as well as some pumpkin seeds. And I think that's the only thing different. You probably have all heard the jingle about the Big Mac, so if you say that in your head, break it down, that's what's in this salad aside from the bun. I even have some sesame seeds on there, and the special sauce is Thousand Island dressing. And then I have two of my cookies. I made these on Sunday afternoon. These are low carb peanut butter chocolate chip cookies sweetened with stevia, and these are no wheat. It's got almond flour, coconut flour. These were also out of the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook, and so that's gonna be my little sweet treat. And then I've got my big thing of green tea. I should be drinking at least 2 of these a day. I only drink 1, so I really need to up my intake of water. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and go enjoy my lunch, and then after lunch, I've got to get a shower, and then I got to get processing all of that produce that I purchased that you saw in the grocery haul this week. So I need to get that done. So let's go. I'm gonna go eat, and we'll get busy. Scott asked me the other day, why can't this counter stay cleaned off? And my response is, I don't know. Time to get some food prep done. I already prepped the lettuce yesterday because for the salad we had, and then as I was pulling stuff out of the refrigerator, someone had shoved my julienne carrots clear to the back, and now they're frozen. So I was going to throw these in the freezer and use them in a pot roast or something. That really ticks me off. I told them 1,000 times, don't shove produce to the back of the refrigerator. Anyway, I'm still going to use it. It's not a big loss, but I am going to miss it on my salads. So anyway, I've got here the kale and radishes that I got from the farm stand, little baby cucumbers, and the snap peas. These are the bananas I was going to use for smoothies. Strawberries, blueberries, cabbage, and the jicama. A lot of this stuff says it's washed and ready to eat, but I am paranoid about that kind of stuff, so I like to wash all my own stuff myself. And so I'm going to get this stuff soaked and washed, and we'll get this stuff processed and ready to be eaten. Well, that was a bit challenging. They had it coated with some sort of like paraffin or something. Some sort of paraffin wax. And it tastes pretty good. A little bit like a turnip. Almost a little bit like a raw potato even. But it's good. I don't know if Travis will like it. He's funny about vegetables, but I think the rest of the family will like it. There's that. I just processed all those strawberries that I bought at the store. Those are going to go straight in the freezer. And thought I'd come out here and pick some strawberries that are ready to pick out of the garden and just have these for fresh. Definitely need to be picked. Some of them are looking a little funny. So this is how many I got. And look at this. Look at the size of that one. So pretty. These are going to be delicious. And the nice thing about having a strawberry patch right literally in your backyard is that tomorrow I left some that weren't quite ripe, and by tomorrow or the day after they'll be ready and I'll get this much again. So yeah, I'm so happy and pleased with our strawberry patch. Look at our potatoes. They are ready to be backfilled. That's what those mounds of dirt like in between the rows are for. You bury them, just leave the tops out, and then more potatoes will develop underground. But I really should do that today, but I don't feel like messing my back up. So that's going to be a job for Travis and Olivia, I think. Maybe this weekend. Yeah, I hear you, Hurley. But yeah, very pleased with our potatoes. My goodness, he's a loud one. They think I'm coming out here to give them a treat, and I am not. And look at how one really good rain, how much of a difference it has made. These plants, I swear they grew 6 inches overnight, and there's like a lot more blossoms on them. So maybe I'll get at least one handful of peas off of this. I've already decided that once they're done and I'm not getting any more peas, I'm going to pull these and feed them to my chickens. I think they will love it. was feeling a little bit hungry, so I wanted a snack. So I got some of those blueberries that I washed. These are like 6 strawberries that I just picked out of the garden. I have a little bit of stevia on it, a splash of this Ripple half and half, and 1 package of these Nature's Garden probiotic immune mix. It's basically just nuts. A few pieces of dried fruit. You shouldn't need a whole lot of dried fruit when you're doing when you are doing low carb, but this doesn't have much in it, but it also has some ginger in it, which I love. So I'm gonna go and have this little snackaroo. I'm gonna do a little rearranging. Scott doesn't like this big arrangement on the coffee table. He says it blocks the remote signal to the TV or something. So I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna put this over here, and I'm gonna put some of that stuff over here. I'm gonna make it more of a low profile centerpiece on the coffee table. Well, good morning, friends. It's Thursday morning, and today is a very busy day for me. Olivia has her cleaning job this morning, and then this afternoon I have my therapy appointment, so I'm just going to be able to film when I can film. And so this morning I wanted to share with you, I got a couple of boxes in the mail. One is my Vitacost order. I order from them probably every other month, and then my Chewy.com order, this is a subscribe and save order. I get it every month. Now the items in it, you can change the items, and the items are not always exactly the same in my Chewy.com box, but fairly accurate what I get every month. So let's go ahead and get started with an unboxing, and I'll show you what I got from Vitacost. I got this big old thing of hemp hearts. They are really delicious. They have a nutty flavor. They're full of omegas, 3 and 6, 10 grams of protein, and these are really good sprinkled on a salad or mixed in with a smoothie or even sprinkled on yogurt bowls. There's all different kinds of ways to use hemp hearts, and they are delicious. I get these regularly from Vitacost. It's the moringa and black tea by Bigelow. Moringa has a lot of health benefits. You should look into that if you've never heard of moringa. That's how you spell it. And I really like this tea. I like to use this more natural rinse aid in my dishwasher. This is my 7th generation. It says it does 75 loads, but that's a lie. I can use about half a bottle, and I have to fill it. Well, I fill it probably every 6 weeks, and well, maybe that's close to 75 loads. 7 times 6. No, it's not. 7 times 6 is, well, no, I'm doing my math. I guess they didn't lie, because I fill this use about half of it every 6 weeks. We do 1 load of dishes, sometimes 2 load of dishes a day. So yeah, I guess it is 75 loads. I never thought of it that way, but I guess that's true. I picked up some of this coconut butter. It's a little bit different than coconut oil. This still has all the like meat in it from the coconuts, like flakes of coconut. And this is really good on toast. And it's also really good in smoothies to add protein and healthy fats. Does it have much protein? Not much protein, but healthy fats. I like to get my dehydrated onion in bulk. This is a whole pound. Really good deal. Can't remember how much it was. It was like $6, I think. And I use this almost every single day in my cooking, and it really goes a long way, and it's a really good deal. Picked up some more of my vitamins. Selenium is very important, especially for women's health. And my slippery elm bark, which is very, very effective for IBS problems. And then the rest of the stuff in here are these little packets. I was actually reading the ingredients on them, and they're not the greatest ingredients, so I'm going to probably try to start figuring out recipes of how to make this stuff from scratch on my own, just by using spices in my cupboard. But we really love this French onion dip with my dairy-free sour cream. It makes a wonderful vegetable dip, and my family likes to use it for potato chips, but it's mostly make it for vegetables. But I got several packets of that. I got several packets of the brown gravy mix. Again, something that's really simple to do from scratch, but this is just for convenience sake. Sometimes I don't have beef broth or chicken broth, and so these come in handy. And then I also got several of the chicken ones. And then I got some taco mix. Now I have a recipe for making my own taco seasoning. I just have been so busy, and every time I have time, I don't think to do it, to mix up some more. So I've just picked up some of these. This is the mild taco, and then I also got the spicy taco because we always do 2 pounds of meat, and so I thought I would use 1 mild and 1 spicy. Just to make it hopefully the exact spiciness. I like my taco meat to be a little bit spicy, but I don't want it so hot that I get stomach issues from it, or it burns my mouth, because that's not fun. All right, so that's everything I got from Vitacost. There's more just envelopes of seasoning in there. And so let me show you what I got from Chewy.com. I got these for Sally. These are the only teeth chews, dental chews that I could find. They're dental sticks for sensitive stomachs. Like I said, she has a very sensitive stomach, and any other kind of chew bone I give her, she will bring it back up, or she'll have a really restless night with stomach problems. So I get her these every month, and I get 3 bags of them, because just for simply the ease of it, I was giving one to Oliver as well. But now that he's switched to those other ones that I shared in my grocery haul, I'm going to see if they have those at Chewy.com, and I'll start buying those for him. But these are for Sally. Picked these up for Oliver. And it's not a chew bone necessarily, it's not like a dental bone, but it's a healthy alternative to rawhide. You should never give your dogs rawhide. It will cause intestinal blockages. So, and this is made with real peanut butter, and he loves these. Now this is another dental stick that is for digestive health. I thought I would try these with Sally and see how she likes them. They're, well, they're manufactured in the USA. That basically means there's products, ingredients in it that are not from the United States, but it's got yogurt in it, and we'll see. Because these other dental chews are not doing 100% good job on getting the tartar and stuff off her teeth. So I thought I would try these and see if these work a bit better. She'll probably have to have her teeth cleaned next year. She gets her teeth cleaned about every other year or every 2 years. And she had them cleaned last year. So we'll just see. Hopefully with these, it will make it so she doesn't have to have her teeth cleaned next year. Then I always get these honey sticks or treat sticks for Artie. Sometimes I get other things for him too, but this month Olivia said he didn't need anything, so I just get these for him every month. Then I got this big old box of cookies. They look like Oreo cookies. The dogs absolutely love them, but we have to break them in half because one full cookie for each of them is too much. So we usually I break them in half. Scott usually spoils the dogs and gives them each a full one. But there's 3 different flavors in here: carob and peanut butter, golden vanilla, and golden and peanut butter flavors. So it's like a vanilla cookie with peanut butter filling, vanilla cookie with vanilla filling, carob cookie with peanut butter filling. So they're just like Oreos. In fact, they smell like Oreos, and Olivia's very tempted to try one, but they're not human grade, so she hasn't. And then the last thing in that box was these Beneful chopped blends. They are a wet food, 3 different flavors. We give them their dry food, and then we put just a scoop of this on to mix in like as a topper. They don't really like the dry dog food that we give them very much, and so this makes it more palatable for them. But we give them a easily to digest dog food because of Sally. It's Purina 1. It's not cheap dog food, but they don't particularly care for it that much. But we don't really have an option. Like the other brands are so expensive. The ones that we give them now, it's like over $40, almost $50 a bag for a 50-pound bag. So that's a lot for dog food. So anyways, that's my unboxing today. Oh, and I wanted to add that one of these little cups, let me show you what they look like. Hold on, I still have some in the cupboard. One of these cups, it's fairly large, will last us at least 3 days, sometimes 4, since we are only giving them a spoonful at each meal. Sometimes Bobo gets some when he's in the house, so that, we count for that as well. But anyway, so this box lasts us well over a month. And in fact, we have still have a half of a box in the cupboard from last month. So, but it's good to have stuff ahead. Like to keep a few extra on hand for maybe a month where I can't afford to buy them, because these aren't exactly cheap either. Nothing's cheap. I get kind of tired of saying everything's expensive, aren't you? We are back from Olivia's cleaning job, and I've already had my lunch. I had a salad, and I'm going to work on this project. I have a few minutes before I have to leave for my therapy, chiropractor. This is a brick of coconut coir, C-O-I-R, I think it's how it's spelled. And you can use this for planting seedlings in, but it's also my bedding material for my worms. I'm still doing worms, my earthworms, and I was able to harvest a bunch of the worm castings when we did a lot of our planting this spring. So I need to replace some of the bedding in their little habitat. And so I'm going to go ahead and moisten this and take it down and put it in their habitat and then feed my worms. And then by the time I get that done, it's going to be probably time for me to leave for the chiropractor. You will you will be surprised at how much this one brick of coconut coir will expand. And it's best to use warm water. That one brick made all of this. And it's a little bit moist, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down and put it in my worm farm and feed them. Here's my worm bin. And this is what the inside looks like. And as you can tell, this is the side that I was harvesting from. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour most of the new bedding on this side, and then I'm going to start feeding them on this side. Well, for this week. In order to harvest the castings, you feed the worms on the same side of the bin for several weeks. And then that way all the worms are over here, and then when you harvest the castings, you're not getting any of your worms. So now that I'm done harvesting for right now, I can start feeding them every other side. So I'll feed them on this side this week and then back to this side next week. And you can see the difference between, this is mostly worm castings on this side, and that's fresh bedding on this side. Because when I first started my worm farm, this was the color of the bedding, and as the year has progressed, I am getting some really nice soil for my garden. I just put a little bit in each hole of the plant that I'm planting, and yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and dig a hole in here, because I bury the food. It keeps it from attracting bugs and it, you know, keeps it from smelling yucky. Even though it's just vegetation, you know, sometimes rotten vegetables don't smell great. Then I got my compost bucket here. All of that food prep I did yesterday gave me quite a bit of food for my worms. And you'll see that there were some strawberries and blueberries in there that we didn't eat fast enough and they got yucky. But it's not really being wasted because it is food for my worms. Get it all covered. There we go. And I just leave the spoon in here. I'll move my little tag so I know, so I remember that I fed them on this side. And that's that. Worms are fed. And this is where I'm going to go ahead and end this video. After I got done feeding my worms, soon after that I had to go back to town and go to my chiropractor therapy deep tissue massage, and it felt wonderful. And then I had to go over to Tractor Supply and get some more dog food for my outside dogs and some sunflower seeds for my spoiled chickens. And then by the time I got back home, it was time to start supper, and we had hamburgers on the grill. I didn't take a picture, but I did use cabbage leaves instead of a bun on my burger, and actually I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. No, it wasn't exactly the same as a burger with the hamburger bun, but I still thought it was very tasty, and so I'll probably do that from now on whenever I have cabbage in the house. Alright friends, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below, and we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye friends.